Yeah, absolutely. But there is a one drawback I want to tell to our audience. If you are, UK and US, there is a chill work-life balance. Are you agree with Julia? There is a chill work-life balance. Like you work till only the time. After the time, after the 7 or after the 8, you will not work, right? But
Yes.
in India, this is not true. You have to work. Sometimes you have to work on weekends. Mostly, like in one month, you have to work like 2 times in your work weekday. So in
Wow.
India, don't look. Don't think about the work-life balance. Only work, work, work.
Oh, guys, if you can, don't do that.
Yeah, this is a truth. I can see in the current markets, not only all the market, but yeah, some of companies do this. Okay, and then if I'm talking about the India, like India has a lot of market, big market, and looking to that market, I can say as an Android developer, if you are a fresher, it depends on you. How? If you have less knowledge, then you can get less salary. If you have a proper, like complete strong knowledge in Android, you are pro in Android, then you can earn lot of good money, like similar to US.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, because
Oh.
recently I have one of my friend who is from the US. He is in Microsoft. He's told me one incident. Samir, I have one friend who is from the India, Bangalore. India IT hub is a Bangalore, like Silicon Valley, similar to Bangalore. India has. So he said he is my friend, one of my friend who is in India in Microsoft. In 3 years, he bought one house. He has 2 cars in 3 years, and I am also in US. But till now I'm not able to buy one house and 2 cars in 3 years. So you can see the differences. India's salary is very much high, but living cost is low. But in US, salary is high, living cost is also high. In UK, similar. Salary is high, living cost is so much high. So hey guys, welcome back to another new interesting podcast. In this video, we will talk about what should you choose, Android versus iOS. So in this video, we will comparison Android versus iOS, and which designation has more demand in market and which designation has more salary in the market. So we will talk about in this video. So we have Yulia from the UK. She is a iOS developer. So in this video, we will talk about Android versus iOS. As you know, I am an Android developer. Yulia is a iOS developer. So we will comparison in this video. So before starting this video, you know what you have to do? Give support and let's get start the video. Thank you, Yulia, for coming. Our audience wants to know about you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me to record this one. Hello, everyone. I'm Julia, and I've been an iOS developer for the past 4.5 years. I'm based in the UK, and I have experience in both big tech companies and smaller startups as well. I did an apprenticeship in software development, and I just got my bachelor degree a couple of years ago. And yeah, I've been developing as an iOS engineer since then, and I'm still in this.
Wow, you have a very strong knowledge. Like you have a all-rounding knowledge, like from the startup to big tech companies. Very good to our audience. Okay, so
Thanks.
the first question is, Julia, why you choose iOS development?
That's a funny one because actually it was the iOS development that chose me rather than me choosing the iOS development. So when I started my apprenticeship, I was placed in the team straight away because apprenticeship is the studies combined with work. And at that time, they only had the placement in the iOS team, but I was told that potentially I could change that if I want to do something different. However, I really like the team, and I really like the community of mobile engineers at the team where I was working. So I decided to stay in the iOS and to develop as an iOS engineer. And yeah, that's how I became an iOS developer, and I'm working as an iOS developer for a few years now. How about you? Did you choose Android or did it choose you?
Okay, basically I choose Android because let me share one incident why I choose Android. So when I was first year in my college, so there was one seminar. So that seminar, one of my senior present one app to entire colleges. So I got really impressed by him, like wow, he has created super amazing app. Till now I don't have a knowledge about the coding. I don't know coding of C at least that time. So I asked him why, and how you created this Android app. He told me this is Android, this is called Android app, so you need to learn Java or Kotlin for learning this technologies. So I asked him, "Can you please teach me?" He said, "No, no, no. I don't have a time. I teach from another institute. There is an offline institute." So he told me to you can also learn from that teacher, that offline institute. So I went there. I joined the course, and when I joined, after 2 months, COVID has come. So everything will close. I didn't learn like properly from the institute. So I decided to learn myself. COVID has changed lot of entire life. I can say lot of people entire life, because if I say like if COVID didn't come, then I where I am. I can say here I cannot sit without the COVID, because when COVID come, I learn lot of things like by myself, through myself and through the internet. So I learned lot of things from the internet, and thereafter I joined one internship, because internship that is very important if you wants a job. Then I joined the internship, and then after I recently got the job, and this is how I choose.
Huh? That's a
Okay.
great story.
Thanks. Okay, so let's moving to another question, Julia. How you learn iOS development? Please share your resources. If our audience wants to learn iOS development in a free, then how they can learn?
Of course, yeah. Well, I learned everything in the team where I was working because it was more like a practical learning rather than theoretical learning like you would do in a college or somewhere. So I had a team and my mentor who helped me a lot. So of course I learned a lot from them. However, I also used a lot of very helpful online resources. The very first one I would recommend is the website is called Hacking with Swift. So if you just Google that, it will appear immediately. It's the website full of very useful, helpful, free resources. And its creator, Paul Hudson, it's actually my favorite iOS content creator ever, I think, because he's really, really great. And also I could recommend another YouTube channel, which is called Swiftful Thinking. And the guy who has this channel, he's a really good and experienced iOS developer who explains a lot of things in a very simple language. So for beginners and for more advanced learners, it's great because he has a huge variety of topics, and it's a very, very helpful resource. Another one is called Codeco. I think it's not only for iOS. I don't know if you know it, but I
Yeah,
think
I
they have
heard
some
that.
Android stuff as well. Yeah. So yeah, they have both free resources and something you can buy. I mean, some books or some online courses, but you can choose between them, and there is a lot of free stuff as well. So this is another website I can definitely recommend. I don't know if Codeco is on your list as well, but yeah, maybe you can share some of yours.
Yeah,
And
sure. So as I told you, I learn Android like from the offline institute. I highly recommend someone who wants to learn Android development to join a offline course or online course live classes. If you are not able to join live classes, then I will recommend some channels, YouTube channels, as well as some website. So first YouTube channel is W3Q. Like this is a YouTube channel run by Indians. So in Hindi, like in Indian regional language, you can learn this. And we have also one good channel that is Code with Harry. Maybe you heard about this. He is a very popular in India. He has a lot of courses like Python, Android, iOS, everything like PHP, web development, Android development, iOS development. All the courses he has playlist. So you can learn, search this, And I want to tell you one website that is very important. There is no any third party website. Always prefer the official documentation. So we have android.developers.com. This is a official website for Android development. So if you have any queries, if you want to search anything regarding Android, so please prefer this website. Am I right, Julia? We should always prefer the official documentation.
Absolutely. I should have told you probably the first place that you should have a look at the Apple's documentation.
Yeah.
But if you want a little bit like more interactive content, something in the video format rather than text, then yeah, please check out those resources that I mentioned before.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then let's moving to the another question, Julia. So we have learned. You have learned an iOS development. I have learned Android development. Then what we have scope or demand in the market current?
I think the demand for mobile developers in general and iOS developers in particular will stay quite high in the next few years. Well, first of all, because you know how much we use mobile phones. We use them every day for different things. We have so many apps that we use daily. So the demand for iOS developers will remain high. The only thing I would consider, and I would say, for example, for someone who is choosing between iOS and Android, maybe to consider some local market in your own country if you want to work in your own country. Let's say, because simply in the US, for example, there are so many iPhone users, and I guess that for the local market, there will be a lot of apps that would need iOS devs at some point. But if we take some countries, for example, in Africa, I'm using this as an example because recently I've been asking some guys in Kenya, what about iOS jobs in your country? They say that they mostly have demands for Android just because in Kenya there are not so many people using iPhones, and however Androids are in a very high demand because the country is developing technologically quite a lot. So yeah, the demand will be high, but yeah, maybe you should do a little bit of research before you choose. Do you agree? And does it look the same for Android? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely right. You are absolutely right because before considering any designation or any department, we should always research, as Julia told, because in US iOS developer has lot of demand, but in Kenya there is no demand because of why? Because there is no user. So this is a truth. And if I'm talking about Android, then Android has everywhere demand, like in Kenya and US. Am I right? Because let me consider myself, like I have both phone, iOS and Android. I use both. So if someone use iOS, then there is a my chances they use Android as well. So Android developer has everywhere demand. I guess in India has a lot.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be saying this as I'm supposed to promote iOS development rather than Android. However, yeah, be realistic because on the other hand, iOS development can be more niche in some places, and you will be like a highly demanded and highly skilled specialist, which is also not too bad.
Okay, then let's ask final question. That is very important question from our audience. That is, how much salary I can get if I learn iOS development as a fresher?
As a fresher,
Yeah.
this would also depend very much on the location because, of course, you cannot compare salaries in the UK and, for example, in Eastern Europe or in Africa or anywhere. This would vary a lot. If we're talking about the UK, I would say that the average for a fresher would be something around 40,000 pounds a year before tax, which may sound like a lot, but of course you need to consider the cost of living and everything. But the good thing is that you can progress quite quickly, and as long as you develop your skills, you can start looking for better positions and better salaries. So yeah, I would say something around this figure. I might be wrong, but this is kind of a rough estimation from what I see, from like what I talk about with people and all that. And of course, unfortunately, I can't tell about other countries, about other locations.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, you're
Mm.
right. I guess I recently I did one podcast. So one of my guest was saying like, yeah, in UK starting salary starts from 14,000 pounds per year
Mhm.
before the tax. If you have experience like 3 or 5 years, then it can be go like 70 or 80,000 pounds, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, and then if I'm talking about the India, like India has a lot of market, big market, and looking to that market, I can say as an Android developer, if you are a fresher, it depends on you. How? If you have less knowledge, then you can get less salary. If you have a proper, like complete strong knowledge in Android, you are pro in Android, then you can earn lot of good money, like similar to US.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, because
Oh.
recently I have one of my friend who is from the UK, sorry, US. He is in Microsoft. He's told me one incident. Samir, I have one friend who is from the India, Bangalore. India IT hub is a Bangalore, like Silicon Valley, similar to Bangalore. India has. So he said he is my friend, one of my friend who is India in Microsoft. In 3 years, he bought one house. He has two cars in 3 years, and I am also in US. But I till now I didn't. I'm not able to buy one house and two cars in 3 years. So you can see the
Yeah.
differences. India's salary is very much high, but living cost is low. But in US, salary is high, living cost is also high. In UK, similar. Salary is high, living cost is so much high. So there is a reason.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's all relative, like the numbers might be different, but of course
Yeah.
you look at the cost of living and the general, quality of life
Hmm.
with this salary in that location and with that salary in the other location.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is a one drawback I want to tell to our audience. If you are, UK and US, there is a chill work-life balance. Are you agree with Julia? There is a chill work-life balance. Like you work till only the time. After the time, after the 7 or after the 8, you will not work, right? But
Yes.
in India, this is not true. You have to work. You sometimes you have to work on weekends. Mostly, like in one month, you have to work like two times in your work weekday. So in
Wow.
India, don't don't think about the work life balance. Only work, work, work.
Oh, guys, if you can, don't do that.
Yeah, this is a truth. Yeah, I can see in the current markets, not only all the market, but yeah, some of companies do this.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's not great. Yeah. Hopefully this will be changing over the time.
soon. Yeah, hope so. And end
Mhm.
of this video, Yulia, can you please give to advice to our audience who wants to pursue a career similar to you?
Yeah, of course. Just don't be scared of anything. Try to expand your network, like apart from the activities you will do for sure, like learning and coding and doing projects and everything to enter the market. On top of that, expand your network, chat to people on LinkedIn, make connections, ask questions, because it's very important to have this network of people you can learn from and maybe see some opportunities from. And who knows, maybe your first job is just around the corner and you just need
Yeah.
to find it, and you can find it through your professional network. And yeah, don't be scared. Try to, don't know, maybe find a mentor or someone who can help you. So don't be scared to ask questions and learn something new. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for your advice. Amazing advice, Julia. Hope so. If our audience will follow this advice, it is not for the iOS. It is for your entire career. It can be for any department. If you wants to learn anything, please be with those kind of people who are this in this field. So suppose if you wants to become a iOS or Android developer, be with those people who have already Android or iOS developer in the company. So you can definitely be that person. And thank you so much, Yulia. Your advice was super amazing, and thank you so much for coming. Hope so our audience like this video. If you like it, guys, please like and share with your friends.
Thanks for having me.